Here we are. Okay, good morning, everyone. Today is day 2 of the Listen to Your Heart in Parenting Challenge inside the Facebook group, Reactive to Relax Self Care Without the Guilt. If you're not in there yet, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to jump into the community. And this um, challenge will be in the guide section to do anytime you want if you are catching this after the live challenge. If you are already in the Facebook group, make sure that you are following along. I will be going live daily at 9:30 a.m. and then I will be posting the task of the day and the journal prompts at noon Eastern every day. And like I said, both the video and the post will go into the guide section for you to follow along. In the description of this video is also a free workbook to go along with the 5-day challenge if you want to journal along with it. This is listening to your heart in parenting. So really getting down to the heart of what you are feeling in your own emotions and how to work on the self-regulation that we need as parents to show up present with our children. And my dog needs to go outside. So just a second. There you go, girl. All right. Ooh, today we're talking about overwhelm. And I am in the midst of it. Seems yesterday was about stress. Today is about overwhelm. And my son has been home yesterday and today from school. So I feel myself working up to overwhelm and knowing the difference between when you're stressed and overwhelmed is really, really important. No one else can do this for you. So this is where this activity for today is really important. The 2 days for day 1 and day 2. Actually, all 5 days are important, but understanding your stress response because it's going to be different than anyone else in the family. So I want to just tell you a little bit of a story about my overwhelm, and then we'll go into a couple of things that may be helpful for you during this challenge. I want to define overwhelm from John Kabat-Zinn, though. He's a mindfulness guru. He's really awesome to follow. He's written lots of books. So if you're not aware of him and you want to work on your mindfulness practice, go and find him. He says that overwhelm is that our lives are somehow unfolding faster than the human nervous system and psyche are able to manage well. Okay, so that's his definition of overwhelm. And it's actually Brene Brown wrote about it in this book, Atlas of the Heart, which is, this challenge was inspired by her. So I'm also having a book study this month. I think I put it in the description of the video. It's in my Facebook group if you want to join the book study this month. There's also prizes for this challenge. I have a self-love yoga class on Friday. So all the fun stuff is in the description of the video. This is a awesome month for love, and self-love is where we can grow our capacity for self-compassion and show up with everybody in our lives. Let me see if anybody's commenting. If you're here live with me, comment, tell me you're here so I can say hi to you. Okay. And if you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay so I can say hi to you then. Okay. So a few years ago, I was really in a state of overwhelm. So this is where everything was getting away from me. I did not feel in control of anything in my life. My parents had passed away within 6 months of each other. My dad was second to die from cancer. It was January. So right now was about the time I was traveling for services and all that. Um, and I wasn't in overwhelm yet. I was going through the motions. I had a 1-year old and a 5-year old. Um, I still had a teaching job. They were really wonderful about all the time I had to take to travel. I lived in Indiana. My parents were in Massachusetts. Before that, they were in South Carolina. It was a year of constant stress, chronic stress. But I was keeping up with the stress until about 6 months after my dad passed away. Tanner, my husband, became very, very ill. It was actually not 6 months. It was only a few months. It was probably June of that following my dad's death. He was very, very ill with digestive problems, lots and lots of digestive problems. He ended up in the hospital in July for a week. They ended up diagnosing him with Crohn's disease. Like I said, I had a 1-year old, or he had just turned two, a 2-year old, and a 6-year old at that point. A week. Luckily, I didn't have to work. It was school break as a teacher. That really helps our family. I was able to be with my children. But the day he was coming back from the hospital, my system was in overwhelm, complete overwhelm. I could not even function. Like, this is where your rational thinking brain goes offline. It could be a panic attack. It looks like a lot of different things. To me, my kids were safe. They were fine. I had them watching TV, but it was like uncontrollable crying. I just didn't have any capacity to make any decisions whatsoever. I had to call my mom's friend. She would talk me through it. I could come up with some solutions. I didn't know how I was going to get my husband from the hospital. It's a 30-minute drive with 2 young children. I didn't want to get them already in the car. It was just so much. My system was overloaded. I had no capacity to move forward. I was stuck. And that's the heart of overwhelm. And that is because I had chronic stress that built up. I did not deal with that stress. I was just moving forward, inch by inch. And that was a wake up call to me that something had to change. Now, I did not change anything for another 6 months. I went back to school in August, working full time. Um, my daughter was in first grade, my son was in daycare, and I was teaching preschool. Now, there is a lot coming at you as a preschool teacher. And I was not, and then coming home being full time mom, right? Like with young children, you are needed 24/7. So, about this time the following year, so 1 year from my dad's anniversary, was when I totally hit the wall and I realized something had to change. I was no longer a joyful preschool teacher. I was very, very easily frustrated, low tolerance level, a special needs student, several of them, behavioral issues in the classroom. And then my son, who's 2.5, his 2.5-year-old stuff, right? And then my daughter, her 7-year-old emotional, 6.5-year-old emotional stuff. This is where I realized I was in complete overwhelm. So this is what John Cabot says. Our lives are somehow unfolding faster than the human nervous system and psyche are able to manage well. I had no capacity to manage my life at that point. And that's when I realized I had to leave the classroom to take care of myself and to be the mom I needed to be. And so today's challenge is all about, what is it that your nervous system needs? Mine needed to leave the classroom. It needed to take my son from daycare. It needed a daily outside time to get my nervous system back. And also, no agenda. It needed some time to just unschool, unparent, whatever it was. I needed a flow. I needed lack of structure. Um, it was very different than what I had needed all my life. I really craved structure, routine, and all of that. This was the complete opposite what my body needed. So, this day of the challenge is to get serious about what your body needs to take care of itself. And in the description of the post, it's all about mindful play. So, what are the things that you do where you're just completely immersed and you lose track of time and space? For me, it's hiking in nature. I did a lot of artwork that year, tons of nature art. Um, what else did I do? I journaled. I listened to meditations and I just journaled like for, an hour a day. So, what are the things that really help you to get back into a state of no agenda, mindful play? Um, so it's a fun thing to figure out, and then to implement into your life. So find the challenge in the Facebook group. I'm looking forward to the answers that people have. And one thing before I leave, this is the program that I've designed for overwhelmed mamas, Om in the Home Revolution. We have weekly connection calls. There is coursework in there on conscious parenting and yoga, the yoga library, video library for your nervous system, and some kids classes as well, and breathing activities for developing their system, their nervous system. And also there's self-care items. I have a whole course called Reclaim Your Body, Transform Your Mind, which is in Om in the Home Revolution as well. That is included. So right now, everything's included for a very low price. This is a program that's worth over $3,000. And I want founding members in there at 90% off. So I'm having people come in at only $333. I have payment plans. If you want to be in this program for life and to work on these things, to be the change you wish to see in your kids, please message me. If any of this sounds interesting to you, we can have a chat and you can decide if you're in or out. All right, so that information's also in the description of this video. All right, have a great day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. and I will see you in the group for the challenge.